That's good. All right, hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to session 3 of Entrepreneur Speaker Series, brought to you by Four Peaks Brewing. Thank you guys for being here. Let's give a big round of applause to Four Peaks. So I want to fill out the crowd tonight. I want to see how much energy, how much hype we got. So give me your biggest round of applause that you can right now. Good, spot on. And if you couldn't make it in the room, we miss you. But we see there were a lot of folks online plugged in, and we want to give a big thanks to Hard Copy Media for streaming this from the 11th floor of the One Arizona Center. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Centauri Minor. I'm the very proud president of the State 48 Foundation and your host for this evening. You got the lovely Lisa the last couple of times. You get me tonight, so hopefully I do her justice, and we're going to have a great conversation, so thanks for having me. Before we begin, I want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors who are making this event possible. So 1AZ Credit Union, the official local financial partner of State 48 Foundation. So grateful for your support. They do it big for us every year, so can we give them a round of applause? So we hope that you stopped by their booth in the vendor village. But if you are here and you're seated, can you give me raise your hand if you actually visited some of our folks in the vendor village? It's great. I went by every year I come, or every week I come, and I kind of re-up on some supplies from Trades from Brit. It's great. So if you guys haven't visited them so far, please do after we speak. It's a wonderful showcase of the small businesses we have in Arizona, so wanted to give a shout out to them. And wanted to give a big shout out to our vendor village sponsor, Square. Let's give them a round of applause as well. And finally, a huge shout out to the rest of our partners who teamed up to uplift Arizona's entrepreneurs. So bear with me while I go through this. Annual sponsors, Arizona Lottery, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona, and Dropkick Media. A round of applause for those folks. Our Dream Maker sponsor, SRP. Our Catalyst sponsor, OGs. Our business empowerment sponsors, U.S. Bank and Thai Chili to Go, yum. And of course, our event partners, Epic Party Team and Active Sound Entertainment. Can we just give another general round of applause? They do so much great things for the foundation, so much great support, and we really appreciate the generous support that they give us each and every year for this. So please give them another round of applause. So we're going to spend a lot of time together tonight, so wanted to introduce myself and kind of give you Good? Oh. Do you want me to just yell? Can you hear me? Good? Good, because I can do it. 3 things to know about me. 1, Phoenix native, so I grew up here in Phoenix. Grew up mostly in Central Phoenix. I went to North High School, 12th Street in Thomas. What I'm mostly excited about is I love this state, and I love anything that enables the state to be a better place to live, work, and play. So the work that we do at the State 48 Foundation is so dear to my heart. I love this place, and I love the work that we get to do. So I'm really excited to be here tonight. Number 2, I'm not an entrepreneur myself, but I built my career around helping entrepreneurs. So been a big part of the Valley ecosystem, the startup ecosystem. The company I work for, Evolved MD, I started when I was employee maybe 10. We're now 250 employees. We were just ranked as one of the top 25 fastest growing companies in Arizona. And so I know firsthand what it looks like to wrap yourself around entrepreneurs and small businesses to really make a big impact. And 3, then probably why you guys are all here tonight, and the most important is I am constantly in awe of the work that we do at the State 48 Foundation. The support that we give entrepreneurs, the support that we give small businesses, the dollars that we give to help them realize their dreams. I love the work that we get to do, from taking an idea to making an impact, and being here tonight is such a big part of that. So give yourselves a round of applause for supporting everyone here. If you want to learn more about the foundation, we have representatives from our board and the team here tonight. So if you're on the State 48 Foundation board or team, please raise your hand. They're all around. They can answer any questions that you guys have. So if you want to learn more about the work and the programming that we do, please let us know. So tonight's session is called Mastering Marketing, and we have some talented folks and individuals here tonight ready to talk about all the things marketing for your brand and business. But before we dive in, I want to welcome one of our previous grant recipients, Ginger Hamilton, founder of Ginger CC, and to share her journey and the impact of the foundation on her work. I got one for you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ginger Hamilton. I own Ginger CC Design, like he just said. I'm basically a graphic artist turned streetwear clothing designer. I found myself in that kind of weird place, but I was fortunate enough to win a grant from the State 48 Foundation last year. And so basically what we did with that money, we needed to buy a screen printer because we were growing very quickly and we couldn't keep up with our production of our products, which people loved. God bless. So we were able to get a screen printer for our garage. So when we say like everything is made in-house, it's literally made in our garage, in-house by us. So that's been a huge game changer for us and our company, truly. My relationship with the foundation actually started before I even had my LLC. I basically quit my job with no plan. In the first 2 weeks, I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just DMing businesses like, hey, I'm an artist, work with me. That was crazy, but I cried a lot and it worked out. So, but of all of the businesses that I DM'd, actually, probably over 100, the one that I did not think was going to respond to me was the only one that did respond to me, and that was State 48. So, yeah, seriously. So that kind of just really kicked off like our relationship together, and I truly believe like if you get out of it what you put into it. So if you take chances and you think, I don't know if I'm going to win a grant, I don't know if this business is going to respond to me. I didn't think I was going to win a grant. I never thought I'd be standing on stage being like, yeah, my art business won a grant. But, you know, you always think there's someone better than you. There's someone doing cooler things, making more money, all of these things I thought, and I didn't even apply for the grant the first time I came to the speaker series because I just didn't have faith in myself to do that. But I did it last year, and if you're on the fence about doing it or sending a message or an email, just do it because, you know, like, why not you? Why couldn't you be the one to win a grant this year? So good luck, everyone. Have a great time.
I'll just take that from you. Thank you. All right, thank you again, Ginger. Love the nod to the entrepreneur journey, which is a lot of crying, so thank you for being vulnerable about that. All right, let's talk money. So she just talked about the grant. Let's give you a little bit more about how that looks. So we wanted to remind you that yes, we'll be awarding about $50,000 in grants this year to small businesses and entrepreneurs. So please make sure that if you're one of those folks that wants to receive that, you attend at least 3 of the 4 speaker series, in person or virtually. Complete at least 1 post-session survey emailed to you after each of these, and complete an application. And once they become available on August 29th, and submit by September 19th. I got to sit on the grant selection committee last year. There's so many good entrepreneurs here in the Valley, and we're super excited to support you. So if you're interested, please apply, send it our way, and we'd be happy to fund you. We've revamped our entrepreneur grants program, and this year we're looking to fund organizations that meet certain criteria. So for-profit based in Arizona, businesses that have been generating revenue for at least 6 months and are generally generating less than $1 million in annual revenue. So really, really supporting those small businesses. So if you have any questions about that, we have our State 48 booth up front, and you can check us up online. But if you have any questions, there are plenty of our folks around to answer those for you. And so housekeeping, we promise we're going to get to the good stuff, you guys. If you get up during our program, please exit through the exterior aisles. Man, come Put it closer to my mouth. If you need to get up during the program or use the restroom, please exit through the exterior aisle so you're not blocking the view of everyone. We have a full house here, so for all you non-seated attendees, please be mindful of your volume. I was here the first time eating a bunch of pasta in the back, and it was very loud, so if you guys can, it seems like we're doing a great job of it tonight, but make sure you just kind of keep the voices low out of respect for our folks. So without further ado, I'm excited to introduce our keynote speaker for tonight to kick things off. It's really funny. So the keynote speaker is Matt Clyde, who is actually the CEO of Ideas Collide, which is our marketing agency. They're the ones that got Evolved and Be off the ground, so I feel weird reading his bio, but I'm going to do that to keep me on script. So Matthew Clyde, founder and president of Ideas Collide. After years of working with blue chip brands, international travel companies, developing some of the internet's first e-commerce driven websites, Matthew launched Ideas Collide in 2005 from Phoenix, Arizona. His expertise in adopting technology into marketing strategies and connecting to authentic storytelling has placed him as a trusted advisor from some of the fastest growing brands and organizations in hospitality, healthcare, and many local startups, including Dan Zeiss and Dairy and Fresh Crazies. Notable recognitions include being named one of Phoenix Magazine's Great 48 Influential Phoenicians, a 2024 Titan 100, and one of the top 25 minds in marketing. Okay. Ideas Clyde serves local, national, and global companies from offices in Arizona and Oregon. Under Matthew's leadership and a team of over 65 marketing professionals, Ideas Clyde was recognized as an Inc. 5000 company in 2020. He's amazing. This is going to be amazing. So, welcome, Matt.
Sir. That's my play on song. Let's give it up for some high hopes. I picked this very specifically for this crowd. If you ever have read the lyrics to High Hopes, does anybody familiar with this song, right? This is an entrepreneurial anthem. You know, there's lyrics in there that says, you know, Mama said, don't give up. Has everybody had that call with their mom? I have. I don't know, I don't have a dime, but I still have a vision. Anybody raise your hand if you feel that way right now? Yep, that's the entrepreneurial anthem that I wanted to kick this off with today. Very, very excited to be here. Much like what Centauri said, thank you for the intro, and thank you for your service to Arizona. There's not a guy in this state that probably gives more back to the community, is on more boards, more philanthropy, just because of his passion for Arizona. So appreciate you and what you're doing for our community. I carry that same passion and drive. I am driven by making this state great, amazing, exciting, and hats off to Mike, who had this vision and put us all in this room here in downtown Phoenix right now, and for the board and all your service. It inspires me and it keeps me motivated and running to do more. Part of my thoughts today and where I wanted to share with you, because I love entrepreneurs. I'm still in the entrepreneurial mode every day. I run a company. I have 65 employees. I have 2 offices. I have hundreds of clients globally, locally, regionally. They keep me up at night. They wake me up in the morning. That's entrepreneurial life. It doesn't ever end. It doesn't stop. As I tell my team a lot, I tell our clients, is that there's never a finish line, because when you're truly an entrepreneur, you're pushing for the next level. You're going for the next thing. And so just by raise of hands, I'd love to see and hear where people are at in their entrepreneurial journey. Who's like in it hard, they're just every day, this is all you're doing. Maybe it's just like your 3rd or 4th time. Let's get those hands up. You're the true hardworking entrepreneurs going at it every day. Who in the room is thinking about maybe making that leap and jumping and maybe giving up something that's a little bit more comfortable, a little more safe? Got a few hands over here. And anybody who's in the room, like in the middle of it, like you're doing maybe 4 or 3 things, you know, you got maybe the full-time job and you're doing this at night, got a few people, yeah, okay, great. Just give me a sense of who's in the room. Love and appreciate the hard work and the drive. And, you know, part of my entrepreneurial experience really ties to what I wanted to share with you today. And what I want you to take away from just a few thoughts that I'm going to share before you get to hear from the great panel and their experience, and they're going to go a little bit deeper. I wanted to leave you with an anchor of kind of 3 things to help you continue to accelerate your marketing, no matter where you are, no matter stage you're in. If you're on your third venture, if you're in your first, if you're thinking about it, I want to give you kind of some core anchors to be strategic in your brand and your marketing. And the way I've structured this is by some numbers. And those numbers are 6, 3, and 1. 6, 3, 1. I'm going to give you 6 words that you're going to own. I'm going to give you 3 core drivers. And then I want you to walk away with 1 mindset and 1 focus. So 6, 3, and 1. I'm also in a very much an analog stage of my life right now. I don't know what's going on. I think it's all the AI. I mean, I do a lot of AI. AI is very much a part of our work and what we're doing, and I'm sure we're going to talk about a little bit in the marketing realm. I'm writing things down on paper all the time. I go to office supply stores all the time, and I buy more than I need to. I'm writing, I'm drawing. I drew out my notes and thoughts today because they're like, there's no slides. And I usually, when I do these, I have a lot of video and content. So I got really excited. I pulled out my marker. I felt like I was a kid in elementary school. I went to Staples. I bought some new markers. So I drew some thoughts out on paper here, and I got highlighters, so I've highlighted things. It was really fun. It was very therapeutic for me just to do this, so thank you for that opportunity. So I'm going to walk you through 6, 3, and 1. I applied these in my work every day with clients, and clients from Wall Street clients that we get to work with, and Main Street clients that are local and amazing, and social impact organizations, and startup organizations, and I've applied them to my organization as well. So, I mean, the unique thing about me is that I get to, very fortunately, be an entrepreneur in building my business and work with entrepreneurs and startups every day in helping them pursue their dream and be smarter in their marketing or pursue how they want to scale and grow. So I hope that you can take some of these as inspiration points, a little bit of hope, and ways that we can continue to grow together. So the 6. 6 is about 6 words. And I want you on your chair, because I want this to be more analog and like more, you've got a note card, and I wanted you to have a note card because I want you to write some thoughts down. There should be a note card and a pen on your chair. I hope you use that to write down these words for yourself. These are internal to your brand. So 6 are 3 words that are defining your brand internally, what it's about, its purpose. It's really connected to your values, your mission, your vision. 3 words that are your core words that define your brand internally. And then I want you to write down 3 words that are about your brand and defining your brand externally, like to your customer, to your most important audience. And I'm going to share a few examples as you think about what those words are. I know some of you already have these down. You probably have gotten written down. Some of you are like, I don't need to write it down. I got it memorized. However you want to process that, awesome. I want you to just take a minute and think about what those words would be and mean to you. I'm going to share what they mean to me and my organization and how I started my firm, Ideas Collide, 20 years ago. We're about to celebrate our 20th anniversary. So 20 years ago, I cut, well, actually it was longer than that because it was over 25 years ago. I cut out of a magazine when I was working in New York City in advertising on Madison Avenue. I was in the only left agency on Madison Avenue called Y&R Advertising. We had the Jell-O account, we had the Sony account, and I cut out of a magazine when I started my job there a quote that said, "Can't love life, don't love work." 6 words. Can't love your life if you don't love your work. And I put it in my cubicle on the 11th floor, ironically, where we are, but in Madison Avenue. And that quote followed me throughout my career. I pinned it to many offices in different places. I finally moved to Arizona, pinned it to many things. And then many years into my career in corporate life and juggling a lot of madness that we all do in our jobs, I was staring at it and I realized, I vividly remember this day, that's no longer a true statement. I'm not loving this anymore. And so I grabbed a group of mentors and really smart people, much smarter than I am, and I said, what should I do about it? And they're like, go do what you've been talking about for years. And so I took that leap of faith and I started Ideas Collide. So can't love life if you don't love work was a big catalyst. And it becomes a core of who we are at Ideas Collide. And it's also this quote, it still lives with me. It's in my office. Somebody finally framed it for me. This is a little snapshot. Again, I printed this out because I just wanted to touch it and see it and show it to you all. So I carried this around with me, and it's really our purpose. It's an anchor point for us. We talk about it all the time. And it allows us to do things. I was talking earlier here with one of the panelists about how in today's world, like allowing your team to go and freelance and pursue maybe their dream is a big thing now. And that was something we started from the very beginning. We've always wanted our team members to go and freelance. Like we've got people that are like running little side shoe businesses in our organization, and they've got all these big ideas that they're pursuing. And that's how we create work that they love, because it's very integrated so they can pursue multiple things. So now in those words, those 3 words, I want you to think about your business, because what I wrote down, over 20 years ago, as our core internal message was very tied to that same message, and it was love, give more. And that was going to be a mantra for us internally of what we would do. We would love the work, we love our team, and we would just give more. We give more to the client. We're a very giving type mindset. If we give more to the team, they'll give more to the client, and we'll gain more from that. And then externally, and you'll see this on your postcards they're on your chair, invent, integrate, impact. That's how we describe and define the business externally to our organization. 3 words: invent, integrate, impact. We invent. You bring me a business challenge, I'm going to invent a solution for it, integrate it into the marketplace with impact, and to drive results for you. That is at the core of what we do at our organization, Ideas Clyde. So I want you to think about what those 3 words, internally, 3 words externally, would be for your organization. And in doing so, you might notice, too, that there is, this is designed as a postcard, because what we do often in workshops with some of our clients is we ask the individual to email it to us, but because I'm in more of a, let's try and connect back to just touching things and talking about things. If you want to, you can put your address on the card, give it to me tonight. I'm going to mail it to you in a year. And I want you to take the time and go, where have you been on the journey in the last year? Are you living up to those 3 core things internally? Are you delivering that message externally to your audience? And own that. And I'm going to mail it back to you and have you feel free to contact me. Or if you want to write another challenge on that, I'll mail it to you that way. Whatever it is, I'm going to mail it back to you so that you can continue to think about what those core words are and how you're connecting them to your audience. So think. I'm going to give you a couple more minutes if you want to write those down. I'm going to give you an example as you do so. Centauri mentioned one of my favorite clients that walked in our offices 12 years ago was a dairy farmer. He's like, I know nothing about marketing. I just have this idea. I want to sell glass bottled milk direct to the grocer like it used to be. And it tastes so much better when it's direct from our farm. And that was his vision. We helped launch Dan's Eyes and Dairy. They're now in 6 different states. When those first meetings, we had him write down 3 words. He wrote down his 3 words: taste, farm, fresh. If you look at a Dan's Eyes and Dairy truck today, they've only tweaked it slightly. It says deliver farm fresh. It was because at the very beginning, it was like, we got to get people to taste this because it's going to make the difference. The taste would make a difference, and he owned that. And they still own that to today. Their internal message, 3 words: we thank Moo. And this was about their commitment to their team, their community, giving back, taking care of the farm. And now they sell lemonade, and they have oat milk, and they take care of delivering high-quality products. Those were their words: taste, farm fresh, we thank Moo. So I hope you can take advantage of writing down what your 3 words are. If you don't know what they are right now, challenge yourself to think about it. I'll send you that postcard in a year, and I hope you have great connection and alignment to how you're better telling your brand message and what your passion is about your product, service, mission, or organization. So I hope that in that, those words can come to life. And as you do bring those words to life, you can start to better connect to the audience, the customer that you want to really elevate, share, inspire, save time and money for, whatever it may be that you're offering. And so my next anchor for you goes to the 3. So we had the 6, now it's 3. 3 core drivers. And these help connect to your audience and elevate and how you scale your brand and put your marketing forward. They're so important in my mind that I actually created my logo of my organization around these three symbolic, metaphorically, whatever they are. As you can see, Mike, you helped me find, this was a long time ago. I had to dig for this shirt because it was probably 12 years ago that we produced these, and we produced them for many of our clients. And in this logo is, it's an atom symbol where ideas collide, but internally it's a heart, and there's a bit of a mind in here. And then as that comes together, there's a bit of the gut. And so those three things coming together, heart, mind, and gut, I want you to take away with you tonight as an anchor. Because to really make a connection to your audience and to really elevate those three words that you've written down, and the best brands, the best CMOs, the best marketers really know how to leverage heart, mind, and gut. Sometimes you might lean into one, you might really lean into the heart, you might lean into the mind, the logic. The heart is about emotion, the gut's about instinct, but the best brands, and then as you evolve your brand and really go out and market your brand, they really leverage all three. And so I hope that in your work and as you're building your story, as you're telling your story and advocating your story and your vision and your product and your service, that you really think about how you connect to the mind, the heart, and the gut. I think it ties to like part of why I'm a little bit in this like, okay, I love AI, I love technology. I built my whole brand on digital marketing, but it's why I'm drawing in. I think that's why we have so many people in the room, is like we need that human connection still. We need to make those moments happen. And so in the age of AI, in the age of virtual everything, heart, mind, and gut is going to be more and more important to you as entrepreneurs and is leveraging your brand and your marketing. The heart, the mind, the gut, that emotion, that logic, and that instinct. So I hope that that helps you connect more at the personal level, the words that you've written down and how you connect that to your audience. And I want to give you an example of that from a personalized standpoint. And it relates to something, again, was pen and paper, not digital. I love digital. I do tons of, you can do so much in digital personalized, but right now you can really surprise and delight sometimes when you take that extra touch to maybe just show something that's more human to human, more pen to paper, whatever it may be. I travel a lot, I speak and I meet with our clients, and I got into a hotel one night, and this was several years ago, and I looked down, and next to my pillow was a personal note written by the housekeeper that I think exemplifies heart, mind, and gut, and really connecting your story to your audience and to everybody that's around you, helping to elevate your brand. So this is what I found under my pillow, printed it out for you. This is a picture of that note. It says, "Welcome to the Hotel Vintage. I checked, and there are no monsters in your closet." It's signed Housekeeper Soul with a smiley face. I love this. This is framed in my office. And it's because it's so personal, it's simple, it's unique. It tells me that she cares, and not just to like, oh, a little warm smile to me as the business traveler, but that she's detailed. She's looking out, she's caring for the room, she's caring for the guest. Think about what that could maybe mean for your business. How can you take something as simple as this and connect that to your customer and what you have written down as your words, or is what you're passionate about, or what's your story? And how do you bring that to life through heart, mind, and gut? And so I think it really helps us also think about that need to create those personal moments as much as possible in a very digital world, in a very chaotic world, where you can, to leverage heart, mind, and gut, just like Housekeeper Soul did for me that night. And so that leads me to my final kind of takeaway item, that one last thing. And it's about having a one focus and a one mindset. And it's very similar to what Housekeeper Soul did. She became an advocate of carrying the brand forward. And so what I want you as entrepreneurs, and as you're pursuing your dream and your passion of your product, your service, whatever you're out there pursuing, is to make sure that everyone, and this is the one part, everyone around you is a chief storytelling officer on your behalf. They're advocating for you. They're carrying the heart, mind, and gut with you. They're taking your 3 words internally and their 3 words externally and bringing them to life like Housekeeper Soul did. So think about how you can elevate those around. Now, in the stages that you're in, how many are like, I'm a shop of one, and it's me and only me? Right? How many are starting to build teams and have teams, or family members, people that are helping you? Okay, we've got a good mix of that. No matter what stage you're at, this does not require, writing a personal note does not take a big budget. It takes no money, it just takes time. How do you take those that are around you and inspire them to carry your message forward as your chief storytelling officer? And I hope that you can bring that one mindset and that one thing through them being chief storytelling officers and those around you and those people, your customers, having them advocate for you. Really embrace those words that you've written down and bring those moments to life. And the way you bring those to life is one more last thing in the one, and that's to focus on doing one thing just brilliantly. There are so many channels, there's so many opportunities out there, it can be overwhelming as an entrepreneur. And yes, you have to have a mix of a lot of them. Smart marketing, I know our panel will talk about that. But my challenge to you, as you think about your core words, those 6 words, internally, externally, the 3 things of heart, mind, and gut, and then the one thing of becoming a chief storytelling officer with everybody around you, is focusing also on one thing and doing it brilliantly. Own it. Don't do it half-assed. Just go in, all in. You want to go and own video, go and do YouTube, or go do TikTok, and just make that your thing. One thing that I love as an example from our client, Evolved MD, do you know what they owned in launching their business? LinkedIn. They just owned it. They do some of the best content. Centauri does some of the best content because they own that as their channel about how they're going to evangelize, tell their story, advocate, be a chief storytelling officer, and get that out to their audience. Own that one thing. So make everybody around you everyone a chief storytelling officer with you, and then own one thing and just do it brilliantly and grow it until it makes that impact. It brings your dream, your passion, your hard work, those high hopes into a reality of true impact and growth. And I hope you can take the 6, 3, and 1 and carry that forward. Thank you for your time and your energy tonight, and look forward to talking to you.
That was awesome. Good. That was so good. I'll grab that for a minute. Thank you. Alrighty, can we give him another round of applause? Man. So many good nuggets. I have the great privilege of working with Ideas Clyde, and so I get to work with their team day in and day out, but there's so many things I took from that, so thank you again, Matt. Now, before I introduce our panelists, this is an esteemed group of folks, remember that we actually have Q&A after, so if there's a burning question that you have and you just want to raise your hand, hold on. Write down your question. We'll get to it at the end. But if there are anything that you want us to make sure that we talk about, just write it down, and we will make sure we do that. So do we have the music teed up? Are they good? I'm going to start. All right, so everyone has a walk-on song. I'm going to ask if everyone will do a little dance as they come on. Come on, just humor me. So our first person is Gina Moreno, who's the owner of Soy Gina Moreno. Good job. Great work. All right, get ready to dance. Excited? All right, our next person is Stephen Kelty, founder of Westerly Visions and partner and head of brand for Golf with Flavor. I expected more dancing. And last but certainly not least, Cristal Rodriguez, the Director of Marketing for Tempe Tourism Office. You know, I really expected some more movement out of you folks. So a diverse and great panel. I'm super excited for this conversation. Before we begin, how about you guys give me a little bit beyond just the title? So tell us more about you, what you're passionate about, what brought you here. So let's start with you, Gina.
Sure. Hello, my name is Gina Moreno. I am a content creator, speaker, and coach. I have a background in tech, but I decided that that wasn't my dream life, and I decided to go out there and build it. I have a group program, which is called Next Level Latina, which is meant to help people turn their story into impact and income.
That's great. Steven, what about you?
How's everybody doing? Go by Kelty, Arizona native, grew up in Flagstaff. I also love everything about Arizona. Been traveling for the last 20 years, moved back to the Valley about a year and a half ago. I've been fortunate enough to work for some global brands like Red Bull. I've launched Lyft's experiential marketing department, went beyond the pink mustache and helped them develop their in real life personality and brand identity. I've been in the travel space, and my career has been non-linear, and that's something that Matt and I were talking about is where you start is definitely not where you're going to end up. And I think that's a real great lesson for entrepreneurs. Go in and learn as much as you can and soak up and try as many different things. But at heart, I just love everything about marketing. I love everything about brand. We'll talk a little bit about experiential. That's kind of my sweet spot. In the last few years, I've been in the golf space. I'm a partner in a golf brand called Golf with Flavor. We created the world's first miniature toothpick shaped like a golf tee. It's flavored. And any flavor you want to do, anything from champagne to orange to citrus. And then we also created a YouTube show that marries the Anthony Bourdain travel vibe with what's happened in golf in the last 5 years. There's been this kind of explosion of non-traditional fashion, people, accessibility, diversity, which has just been a real treat. I grew up as a caddy at Forest Highlands Golf Course in Flagstaff. So yeah, I kind of just love a little bit of everything from brand to experiential to just people. So I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Cristal, tell us about you.
Yeah, my name is Cristal. I am currently the Director of Marketing for Tempe Tourism. Originally from Tucson, but I made the right decision and I went to ASU. Let's go. My journey has been a very long one. I've been in marketing for going on 18 years now, represented some of the biggest brands. I've also gone super local. My heart is here in Arizona in growing this state. There is a big push for the economic development of Arizona. Currently in tourism, that's where our focus is, right? Whatever we can get from outside of Arizona in, we all win. Obviously, I always want you to stay and play in Tempe and spend your money there. But any win for any traveler coming into Arizona is a win for all of us and for small businesses like the ones you guys have. So
that's great. So Matt's presentation keynote was a great segue into the first couple of questions, which is for folks that are starting off here, we have ventures and small businesses at every stage. Like, what's the first step to building a brand?
Yeah, I think for me, I always tell my pro bono clients is just remain authentic, write everything down. Make sure you set your foundation. Who's your audience? I think that's really the big part. Who are you doing this for? What are you doing it for? What problem are you trying to solve? Once you get that foundation, you just build from there. And again, remain authentic. I think a lot of us in this space can get kind of overwhelmed. You feel like you have to be everything to everyone, and sometimes you do, right? There's people that have, one-person businesses here, and they're doing social, they're doing this, they're doing that. Staying focused, setting that foundation, and trying to grow from there is really essential in building that brand.
Gotcha. Kelty?
Yeah, I think the exercise that Matt did was just doing a self check of your values, right? Say, like, what do I value? What do I stand for from a brand perspective? And you usually find your community that have the shared values and not just the shared interests. And I think that's where you start seeing the real magic of people come together who are willing to help, who want to show up. Because when you're starting out, you need help. And don't be afraid to ask for help. And don't be afraid to show up in places to try and learn. But I always say, like, what are my values? What do we stand for? And what don't we stand for? Because there's a lot of shiny toys and objects out there that you want to go chase after, the quick wins, and those things while they may look like they can get you where you want to go, you have to stay true to yourself, as you said. And it starts with understanding your values. And I think that's a really important one.
Values, so authenticity, values. What's your follow-up?
I think you all covered it pretty well. I like to talk about a framework that is from Vanessa Santos, which is the DREAM framework. And you were talking about understanding your client. It just takes it to the next level of understanding them deeply. What are and the framework is called DREAM. So what is their desire? What do they want? What is their vision? Our reality? What are their current struggles right now? If you could step into their shoes, what is their life like? What are their emotional triggers? What is going to make them take action? And then authority. Why should you be the person giving your service to them? And then M is magnetic invitation. Like, what is the logical next step that's going to make them have relief in whatever the problem is for them? So
that's great. I want to pull on that thread. So you talk about kind of building out that audience, but for small businesses and teams, probably many of you that don't have the budget, that don't have the larger staff, like what is the first step to actually building out the audience for your brand?
Yeah, so I am a small business. I am an entrepreneur, mostly a shop of one, and I did it through TikTok. I started on TikTok around 2020, and I built my audience there. I think right now I have about 80,000 followers, and I did it by sharing my story and being authentic, and I think TikTok really changed the world of social media specifically, because it used to be where brands would show up in a really polished way and a really like, okay, this is 1, 2, 3, and these are our values. But TikTok was like, okay, upload a video without makeup, and people want to see who you are, like raw and authentic. And so I was lucky enough to catch that wave, and I started posting videos. And you don't need a huge budget for that. I think you just need to understand what is your story, and like I mentioned, who is your audience, where you're trying to reach, and have some fun with it. I think marketing is so fun. My background is in engineering and tech, so I'm having a blast in marketing.
That's great. Kelty?
No, I think it's great. I think, starting out and when you're sitting at the desk and you have the white piece of paper or the white note card, you're like, it's really daunting. You're like, where do I go? And so there's